YouTube says I'm live, so I must be live, right? The internet never lies. Welcome in. This is the Howdy Tech Show, or hanging out with Dave, whatever you want to call it. We're on episode 110 this week. A little live stream that I do every week. We go through some tech news here. We got GPU news this week. We got CPU news this week. That's very well what I cover, that kind of stuff. We do have a new video card coming out. It's already out. Some people saying it's an outrageous price. I don't think it's too bad of a price myself. We got AMD launching their encoders that's supposed to be in par with NVIDIA's encoder, which is nice to know. Then we got some 7000 series from AMD. We got some release dates, some specs and whatnot we're going to talk about. We got Raptor Lake, which is 13th gen. Some of their rumored release dates, some of their specs and stuff going on this week. I'm going to be talking about that. Once we get done with that, we will be talking about what's coming up on the channel, how the channel is done for the past week. All that good, happy stuff. I hope you guys kind of have an idea on what's coming up on the channel. And then we just kind of hang out and chat and kind of chill and talk about whatever comes up in chat. There's a couple of disclaimers I throw out every week. I just feel more comfortable doing it because I don't want nobody here that ain't going to be comfortable. So, number one, I do drink me a cold Budweiser while I do the stream, so there is some alcohol consumption. So, cheers to you. Hope this weekend's finding you well. Also, I am a truck driver by trade, so I do cuss a little bit. I try to keep it to a bare minimum. I try not to do it too much, but it does slip out from time to time. I hope neither one of them offend you too much. I don't want to see nobody leave, but if they offend you too much, this may not be the right stream for you. That's kind of why I throw them out. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll jump over here and we'll start running down through the articles we got this week. This first one we're going to cover, I think a lot of people got it wrong on this one. But let's see here. Let's see if I can remember how to do this. Chris McGraw's in the house. How you doing, Chris? I'm glad you joined me this weekend, buddy. A lot of people are coming down on the EVGA over this. EVGA is releasing the Kingpin version of the 3090 Ti. Glad you're doing good, Chris. A lot of people are coming down on because of the price. I think a lot of people is kind of missing on that. Basically, they're coming out with the Kingpin, which is a water-cooled version of the card, 360 radiator. You know, it is an overclockable card. It's made for overclocking. That's why it's got the Kingpin name to it. But it also comes in with a power supply. And I think that's why a lot of people was hitting this wrong. It does come with an EVGA 1600 watt power supply with it. And people are saying, you know, $2,500 is too much and this and that. If you look on EVGA's website, the power supply is a $500 power supply. They have a $100 instant rebate on it. So they're so you can buy the power supply for $399. I looked up on Newegg here. The only thing I can find on Newegg is by a third-party seller, which they usually jack the prices up a good bit, but they're selling it for $545. But still, yet you take into consideration that you're paying $400 for a power supply, so it's about $2,100. Look at what the 3090 Ti is going for. That's air cooled. It ain't going to give you quite as much overclocking room on it. Cheapest one we got is OTAC, which is open box, $1,500, $1,600 for open box $1,700. Now without getting an open box, you're looking at $1,849. You go on down here to some of the higher end ones, you know, you're still looking at about the same price without a power supply. Got the Gigabyte Aorus. I believe that's a water cooled as well. It's going for $2,200. The Gigabyte Gaming is going for $2,100. $21.49. But you do have $340 off with the promo code on that one. So that wouldn't be too bad of a deal. But still, yeah, I don't think that's too overly priced for this cord, for what it is. By the time you add in the $400, $500 for that power supply, you know, it's about priced just as well as any other graphics card out there. Chris is on vacation and still hanging out with me. I appreciate that, Chris. I hope you enjoyed your vacation, wherever you end up going. You on any place special for vacation, buddy? But a lot of people putting EVGA down for this because of the price of $2,500. But when like I said, you take into consideration the price of the power supply, I don't think it's that bad of a deal. You're getting the Kingpin name, you're getting the OC capabilities of it. It is a 360 millimeter all-in-one attached to it. So the temperature on it should be great. So I mean, if you're interested in a 3090 Ti, yeah, maybe think about picking one of them up. I don't think it's too bad of a deal, not with the power supply coming with it. You can get both of them in one package where you don't have to worry about buying the power supply, because that'd be plenty of a power supply for it. Go and stay home with the kiddos. Gotcha, buddy. That's always a nice thing, man. Make time for the family. Usually whenever I take a vacation, it's usually right before the holidays to make them a longer holiday. And then I end up working around the house all the time. 6500 XT, same price as the 6400. Oh, really? On Newegg. Excuse me. Oh, that's a pretty good pickup. 6500 XT for the same as 6400. 6500, man. Might as well get the 6500 at that price. Both of them are so cut back, though. It's kind of hard to recommend either one of them, but yeah, it ain't too bad if you can get it for the same price. I'd definitely take the 6500 over the 6400. Next, what we got? We have the AMD. This kind of surprised me when I found this one this morning, or yesterday morning, whenever I found it last night. I don't know. But the AMD encoder, if you ain't familiar, NVIDIA is known for their encoder. That's basically why I run my 2070 Super, because of the encoder, because that NVIDIA encoder. MT Coiners in the house. Morning to you, MT. Glad you're in the house, buddy. Glad you're hanging out with me this weekend. Hope your weekend's going good for you. But the AMD AMF encoder, finally on par with the NVIDIA encoding. This one kind of surprised me. By reading down through here, they released the 1.4.24, which is the one that matches or just good as in the NVIDIA encoder. So where was it at? Down through here someplace. This thing came out a few months back. And even some of the bigger streamers, like Episode Box, I guess the way you pronounce that. I've watched some of his stuff from time to time. He's even used it for his streams and whatnot. And these guys know their encoders, and they're saying it's just as good as NVIDIA encoder is. But it came out like 2 or 3 months ago. But the bad thing is, like the streaming surfaces, like OBS, like I use and stuff like that, just ain't implementing it yet. Not too sure on why this is. I don't know if maybe it's a big job to be able to rewrite the code to be able to use it or something. But it kind of surprised me. It's been out for a couple months, and it's the first time I'm hearing of it, at least. I don't know if maybe you guys have heard of it before, or I knew they were supposed to be coming out with something new. but it's been out for quite some time, and it just seems like the company just ain't picking up on it or ain't upgrading their software to be able to use it. So that's kind of another punch in the gut for Intel or for NVIDIA. You know, because I know a lot of people want the NVIDIA encoder for the streaming. The days of a blur right now. Ouch, busted your shoulder several days ago while working on your roof. I didn't even realize it was Sunday until I seen you were live. That must be pretty good pills you're on right there, MT. Sorry, I hope you heal up pretty quick, buddy. I hope you get back to regular life. I know shoulder problems ain't easy to deal with. Kind of makes life a little hard, and a lot of times with shoulder injuries like that, it's kind of hard to ever get them back to the way they used to be. I hope you start feeling better soon, buddy. I can't find it in the article now, but it came out a few months back. Kind of surprised me that software developers, I don't know, maybe they are in the midst of doing it. But, you know, let's see here. Goes for gaming, low bit rate, almost good as NVIDIA's. I don't know, but it's been out for like 2 or 3 months, and nobody's been really adopting it in. And that's, you know, like I said, that's kind of a punch to NVIDIA, because a lot of people want NVIDIA GPUs because of their encoders. So hopefully more software companies will start adopting it and utilizing it. Maybe that will bring NVIDIA down to dropping the prices a little bit better, like AMD has on the GPUs, and not expecting people to pay as much for them. But you know, it's a good sign for AMD. Next, we got the CPU news for this week. We do have AMD Zen 4 7000 specs, release dates, release date window, benchmarks, and much more. Look on the 6.5 DDR5 PCI Express 5.0 5 nanometer on AM5 with 5.5 plus gigahertz. I think they're going to have some pretty good competition here for Intel. Intel seems to kind of took it back as far as 12th gen stuff went. I mean, you got the one chip out, the 5800X 3D. But with the new release, with the apparently they're all supposed to have the 3D cache or some kind of variant of 3D cache. So I think they're going to actually bring it back with this. There's some of the specs that we got at a glance here. Up to 16 cores, 32 threads on TSMC 5 nanometers. Greater than 5.5 gigahertz boost. 6 nanometer I/O die DDR5 memory controller. PCI Express 5.0 interface. It does only support DDR5, no DDR4 support, which we'll see how that works out. I think that may hold a lot of people back from going on to the 7000 series when it launches, because the DDR5 memory prices and availability just ain't there. I guess time will tell on that one. RDNA2 integrated graphics. I'm kind of interested to see if that's going to actually be on every one of the chips, like they're going to do a cut back version of it for each of the chips, or if they're still going to stick with like the APUs, or how they're going to actually do that. It's supposed to have an 8 to 10% IPC gain, which is good for games. 15% greater on single thread workload, greater than 35% overall performance gains. Oh, excuse me. That's on the multi-threaded workloads. Greater than 25% performance per watts, which is pretty nice. Of course, they're going to have the AM5 socket, which is going to be an LGA instead of the PGA. 1718, backwards compatible cooling with the AM4, so you can take the cooler from the AM4 cooler from your AM4 system, slap it right on your AM5. That's a big thing. Unlike Intel. 6600 series chips, the X670 Extreme, 670, and B650 motherboards. Which, of course, they'll come out with the lower versions as time goes on. Got up to 170 watt TDP, 230 watt peak power, up to 125% more memory bandwidth per core. They're also going to be supporting the AVX 512. 3D V-Cache on Zen 4 models will come to market this year. So they're saying it's going to be coming out this year, which ain't no big surprise to us. As their reports have also merged a launch of September the 15th. So that's coming right around the corner. Not too bad. Of course, like any other launch, they'll start out with the big boys. They'll start out with the Ryzen 9s, the Ryzen 7s, and then they'll bring out some of the lower SKUs, but they always start out with the big boys. So in September, if they do launch on September the 15th there, you're looking at probably the Ryzen 9s will be launching, maybe the Ryzen 7s, one for each SKU probably, something like that. But, I mean, it's about time they get off the AM4. It's been, 5 years now we've been on AM4. But that's pretty good. I think it's pretty cool. 16 core chips reaching up to 5.5 gigahertz on all cores doing gaming. That's pretty good, hitting 5.5 on all cores. You're looking at 16 cores. That's a lot of processing power right there. Of course, their single core will probably boost up higher than what their all core is. They usually do. The Ryzen 7000 still features precision boost tube to expose the maximum boost frequency. They did a nice little picture of the die if you want to look at it. I'm trying to look for some benchmarks down through here, but I ain't seeing none. There's maybe benchmarks in the article. Of course, everything we talk about today will be linked in the description below if you guys want to read up on it or whatnot. You're more than welcome to do so. AMD Zen 4 Ryzen 7000 integrated graphics iGPUs. All Ryzen 7000 chips will be supporting some form of graphics. Well, there we go. There's my answer. So it doesn't appear that there will be graphics options like the Intel F series for now. The RND2 engine resides on the HOWDY and supports up to 4 display outs, including DisplayPort 2 and HDMI 2.1 ports. Ryzen 7 has the same video VCN and display DCN engine as the Ryzen 6000. But really don't give you much idea on how powerful they're going to be. That's kind of my interest in them. The company will also bring the Smart Shift Eco Tech, which allows shifting the graphical work between the iGPU and a discrete GPU to save power on the Ryzen 7000 model. So it's going to automatically detect your GPU, I guess. Let's see here. The RND2 graphics are only designed to light up displays. Caution that we shouldn't expect any meaningful gaming performance. AMD has said that the SKUs will have the same undisclosed number of CUs, and the I/O configuration will be the same for all models, such as the safe to assume we're looking at a possible 2 to 4 CUs per Ryzen 7000 chips. So there's going to be a very, very big cutback. There ain't going to be a whole lot of power to them, which, you know, in time they'll come out better and better, you know, just like the APUs have. So the benchmarks, there we go. 7,000 benchmarks in Zen 4 IPC. Benchmark results posted to a third-party benchmark database. Still, we've only seen an instance of a Ryzen Zen 4 Ryzen 7000 processor listed that doesn't come from AMD. 2 Ryzen 7000 submissions to the Milky Way at Home project on Balco platform, whatever that is. I'm not too sure, never heard of it. The submission doesn't tell us much about the performance, but it does expose the code name that's likely representative of the Ryzen 7 7800X, and will be replaced the 5800X. The other code name, 16-core model, is likely to be the Ryzen 9 7950X. They'll replace the 5950X. Excuse me. For now, most of the Zen 4 7000 benchmarks come from AMD, which you always take them with a grain of salt. Everybody knows this. As with all vendor benchmarks, you should approach these results with caution. These chips are pre-product models, so performance is subject to change and the test conditions could be favorable in AMD chips. Well, yeah, they're going to make their products look the best. But it's pretty cool about reading down through this. I don't know. Like I said, it's in the links in the description below if you'd like to check it out. I think that's about far enough on this, though. Intel Raptor Lake will come with the same Golden Cove architecture for its performance cores, P cores, as it's all in Order Lake. But we expect Intel to dial up the clock rates to boost performance, such as we can expect quite a battle for single thread superiority between the 7000 and Raptor Lake. They give you a breakdown of the improvements there through the Zen processors there. Higher performance with lower power consumption. Performance per watt is greater than 25%. Overall performance improvements greater than 35%. So they're going around a little bit hotter than the 5000 series chips, of course. But you're going to get a little bit better performance out of them. You know, they're jacking up the wattage that they're going to need to run. So, which means you're going to need to upgrade your cooling a little bit to be able to get the performance out of them. But yeah, I think that's enough on that one. You guys are more than welcome to read what you want to on the bottom and the links below. Then we have the Intel 13th Gen Raptor Lake specs. Rumored release date, benchmarks, and more. Sometimes I wonder where they get this information from, but because it's kind of strange they came up with the information on both of these just about the same time. This one here was published 3 days ago. This one here, what was it? I think it was only about 2 days ago. 1 day ago, they published the 7000 series specs. The one nice thing I did see about the Intel chips coming out, that they will be supporting DDR5 and DDR4. Some of the specs for the Raptor Lakes, at a glance, you have launching Q4 of 2022 around October. Up to 24 cores and 32 threads on the Intel 7 process node. Up to 8 Raptor Code performance cores, P cores, and 16 efficiency cores. Raptor Lake 55-watt desktop. And Raptor Lake P 15 to 45 mobile. Remember to boost up to 5.8. Of course, they got to boost a little bit higher than what AMD does, right? By what their numbers say. You got up to 36 megabits of L3 cache, 20% increase. Dual channel DDR4 3200 and DDR5 5600 memory support. Of course, that's going to depend on the motherboard you get. PCI 16, 5.0, and 4 times PCI 4 interface, Thunderbolt 4 and USB 4. Support for PCIe 5.0 M.2s. Desktop 65 to 125 TDP, scales from mobile as well. Up to double digit performance boost. New word of IPC gain through that is expected. LGA 1700 Raptor Lake backwards compatible, distant coolers. That's nice. You're going to be able to just replace your older Lake with the Raptor Lake. You don't see Intel pulling that one very often. 700 series chipsets, Z790, H770, and B760 motherboards. Chipsets up to 20 PHC PCI 4.0 and 8 PCI 3.0. Enhanced CPU overclocking features include per core and efficiency thread boost, which that's only going to be on K chips. I'm sure they ain't going to do away with that. They've done that for the last 13 years. Support AI M.2 mod. Intel Threaded Director is a hardware-based technology that assumes threads are assigned to either the P or the E cores. Sorry about that, guys. Intel has given an official launch date for Raptor Lake yet, but all signs point to Q4. That's right around the corner as well. I think there's going to be pretty good competition between the AMD 7000 series and the Intel Raptor Lake series. I think they're going to be pretty neck and neck by what they're saying here. Of course, they're both going to try to outdo each other, which is good for us. I'm just kind of curious on the prices of them. Down here, some of the specs that we have on some of them, what specs we do have on them. You have the 13900K. You got 8 P cores, 16 E cores, which is 24 core, 32 threads, DDR4 and DDR5 with 36 megabits of cache. Then you got that's the only one they got listed. What's the rest of them? Then they got 12900K, 700K, and the 12600K. But they still don't have a boost clock. They don't have a price. They don't have a boost clock for the E cores or the P cores. So there really ain't a whole lot of information there on it. Above, we can see that the Core i9, i7, i5 flagship from Intel Privies Gen family, along with what we know about the new i9 13900K model from the various leaks and information we have collected. Intel will only release the i9, i7, i5, and i3 models for Raptor Lake, while Pentium and Celeron will be served for refresh previous gen Ultra Lake chips. Okay, so the Pentium and the Celeron are going to be made out of the 12th gen chips. Okay, ain't the first time we've seen that. Above we can see the 13900K comes with a total of 24 cores. Previously gen flagship, but the same number of P cores. So basically, they're going to take the same technology and they're going to improve it. And It is kind of cool though. I think Intel is going to be able to still support DDR4 and DDR5. I think that may sway some people to go back to Intel from AMD. We'll have to see how that plays out because the new AMD is only going to be supporting DDR5. And there's a picture of the die, the layout. And if you're interested in that, I really don't get too much into the layout of the dies. I really don't care. My biggest thing is going to be the performance of them. 700 series motherboards, yeah, they're going to stick with the LGA 1700 coolers because it's going to be a 1700 socket. Very good. Let's see here, Raptor Lake motherboard connectivity changes. PCI 4.0, they're going to have 20 instead of 12 on the 600 series. PCI 3.0, they're going to have 8. Oh, excuse me, instead of 16 on the 600 series. USB 3.2 Gen 2 times 2, 20 gig. They're going to have 5 instead of 4. So they're going to, it seems like to me they're trying to get away from the PCI 3.0 and go with more of the 4.0 lanes. And more USB 3.2 Gen 2. Which I guess that's progression for you. Desktop PC HUs. I ain't too worried about that either. Where's the benchmarks at? What kind of benchmarks they got for these things? They got anything better than the last ones? We've seen Raptor Lake continue to perform better as a new benchmarks are posted with 24 core, 32 threads, model i9 showing 20% improvement over threaded workload over the current Gen 12900K flagship. Okay, so it looks like the 13900 down here at the bottom down here. No, it don't look like it's much better. Well, some, I guess the long SIMD is a little bit better. A little bit better the single float. But it looks like it's losing a little bit in the double float. Nah, don't make much sense to me. Here's, well, then again, they're breaking down the 13900 compared to the 12900, 11900, and the 5900X from AMD's lineup. I don't know, there ain't a whole lot here either. Cores and threads, 6 core, 8C plus 16C and 32 threads. No speeds on them. 3.7 big, 2.76 little. Rated turbo power 65 to 200. I love when they give big numbers like that because you really don't know where the hell they're going to fall at. Looks like the cache is doubled a little bit on the 16. To be determined. 256, which same thing as what we got now. They're saying the MSRP for the 1300K is going to be $549 compared to the $519 for the 12900K. Well, that's 12900. That should be the KHQ, I'm assuming. They just didn't put the Ks on them. But yeah, it's kind of cool that they kind of got the performance for them, but I don't tell you a whole lot about it. It's a big order for nothing. We got some Raptor Lake pricing. The i9 peaking at 589. The i7K is going for 409. The i5's going for 289, but Intel hasn't confirmed pricing yet. So them kind of leaked pricing on them. So take them with a grain of salt. Uh, that's kind of the breakdown, what they know about the Raptor Lake so far. Of course, you know, we're going to have to wait till they actually come out and some independent reviewers actually do something with them to see how they actually perform. They're all AMD and Intel both. They always boost the big performance numbers. Sometimes they come true, sometimes they don't. Maxter 1878's in the house. How we doing, buddy? Glad you can hang out this weekend. But that's kind of the specs that we got on Raptor Lake. The rumor release dates. The benchmarks, I think they could have done a little bit better one. I don't think there's really enough information there to really go off of the benchmarks as far as the 7000 for AMD or this 13th gen goes. But yeah, that's what the article was reading like. I kind of touched this one last week. I don't know if I actually showed this article or not. This was brought out 9 days ago. AMD, Apple, and NVIDIA reportedly cutting back on TSM 5 nanometer orders. That's kind of where the well, there's going to be less CPUs, GPUs for next year coming from, I guess, from last week's show. Ryzen 5 4500 at the same price as the 12400F. That's nice. I think they're pretty well compared to each other. But because of the oversupply and other stuff like that, I also read someplace or seen it in a video that NVIDIA stockholders are trying to push back the release of the 4000 series GPU because of the because of the abundance of 3000 is still on the market. AMD has reduced their orders from TSMC Technologies by 20,000 wafers for Q4 and Q1. So TSMC is gonna be hurting. Of course, they'll pull out of it. They'll sell the chip to somebody. 4500 is PCI Gen 3, and more or less the same as a 5500. So you're going to give up. So go with the 4500. You're going to be losing your PCI Gen 4 mode then. Because I believe the 12100F has the Gen 4 mode, which ain't a big deal really, depending on what you're going to pair it with. I think we touched on this some last week. I don't know if I actually showed this article last week or not. And of course, I couldn't find the good juicy stuff. Apparently, they've already took it down. Yeah, and all chip makers hated their US 5 developments. Yeah. Oh, hell, I ain't even on screen. I ain't even on screen. There I am. Now I'm on screen. Now y'all can have nightmares tonight. But that's just kind of, I don't know. Kind of makes me wonder if they're gonna have enough stock for to do what they need to do with as far as demand goes. They're cutting back by 20,000 wafers. That's a lot of chips that they was expecting to produce, and they ain't gonna be producing. Which they're saying it could, because of the cutbacks on the chips, it could actually interfere with the 4000 series GPUs, Radeon 7000 based, or DNA 3 architecture based. But, you know, we all know the tech's been on the downgrade for the last couple of years or so. But, I don't know. Maybe it's a good thing they're actually cutting back on. They know more about it than I do. They're sitting in the offices. Intel got an async out when crypto crashed hard. Yeah, I seen that too. Finally made a chip they could mine with, and now they're releasing it now at the end of the mining thing, at the mining craze. Yeah, at least it has no drivers problems. Yeah, at least it don't. No, for now it don't have no driver issues. They say that driver issues won't pop up in the future with it though. I said we covered the 3090 Ti that everybody's downgrading or putting down, which I don't think is too bad of a deal. We covered the AMD AMF encoder, what I could find on it. I'm hoping more software companies start picking up on that. I'm hoping. The AM4 or the Zen 4 7000 specs, and it didn't really impress me much. We've been seeing most of that in rumors anyways. 13th gen Raptor Lake, that didn't impress me much. Them pulling back on their orders from TSMC. Talked about that a little bit there. I don't know. It is what it is. But that's about all I have for news articles for this week. As far as the channel goes, we did pretty good. I've been trying to figure out the perfect GPU to pair with the i7-4790. I want to unlock the full potential of the 4790, but not bottleneck it too hard. The 1070 Ti, the 1660, 2060, the 5600 XT. The 4790. I'd say probably the 2060. If it's a 6 gig or 3 gig, the 2060 would probably be a pretty good pairing for the 4790, I'm going to say. I think the 5600 would definitely be bottlenecked by the 4790. At least secondhand used GPU prices finally near nearly 60 since January. Yeah, the secondhand market's definitely coming down now. A lot of your good deals are going to be found on the used market compared to the new stuff. But just keep in mind, a lot of them cards has been used for mining. Some people prefer that. Me, I've had good deals with that and bad deals buying old mining cards. I got a 470 back there on the shelf that I bought. I think it's got bad memory chips on it. I think it's the next mining cord. But then again, the 580 I just built with, that was the next mining cord, and it's doing good. No problems with it. I built with several other ones that's been X mining cords, and I've had no problems. You know, just one I've had problems with. You know, it just all depends on how they've been treated and how they've been taken care of. And of course, you're like me, you get computer components in, takes you a month or so, 2 months to even open the box, let alone test them. So, you know, my protective, through eBay, my protectiveness is done wore off by then. So, yeah. But I think the market's definitely starting to straighten itself back out on the GPUs. You know, it used to be, you know, if you wanted to deal on GPU, you always went with the used market. It's getting back to that. And once that proof of stake actually goes through, hopefully it goes through this time. If it does go through, when it does go through, that's when you're going to be able to get the GPUs at a good price. on the second-hand market. Talking about the channel for the week, though, we do have 15 new community members. If any of you watching, which I don't think so, but welcome into the community. Glad you decided to hit that subscribe button. That's up by 67% more this week than it was last week, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think last week it was only about 9. I got a bad RX 580 one time too. They didn't hold up to mining as well as the RX 580s for some reason. You go from a 480 to a 580, you know, they got a year to improve on the architecture. I think that's the big thing on it. It takes them a while to get that architecture built up. Because I think it's the same GPU node. I think there's just a little bit of an improvement on them. Uh, 6500 XT on PCI E Gen 3 would be fine without losing too much performance due to the card is limited by the PCI Gen 4x4. Yeah, 6500 still runs on PCI Gen 3. You wanted a Gen 4 card, you'd have to go with one of the newer ones. But like I was saying, yeah, we got 15 new community members this week. Welcome in, guys. Glad you guys decided to join the little community I'm building here. I was actually hoping to get the this week coming up, I was actually hoping to get the video done up for the integrated graphics on that Dell Optiplex I got sitting over there, but it didn't happen. I put the SSD into it and it started downloading everything. I didn't have time to do all my benchmarks on it. So this week's coming up. There's going to be a $2,000 gaming PC for 4K ports list. I've been kind of falling back on them just because they're simple and easy to put together. It still has something to do with the channel. Still putting something out there. So yeah, that's what's going to be coming up this week. I'm hoping by next week I will be able to get the benchmarks for the, and I was actually wrong on that. I thought that had the 530 in it, but I thought it had 550 graphics in that Dell Optiplex with the 6600, but it ain't going to happen. It's got the 530 graphics in it, which I thought's a little bit strange. RTX 6400. They've only, oh, it's 6600. They don't have any 6400s left, but I'm hoping to, within, yeah, I can't even think straight. By this pay coming up, I should be able to get the 6400 XT or the 6400 RTX 6400. And Newegg ain't cooperating too much with me here. But I'm hoping to be able to get the 6400 ordered. Next week, I'm hoping to have them benchmarks for the Intel integrated graphics, which that was the Intel 6500. I think it's the 6500 processor. Now, I thought that had the little bit better graphics in it, but once I got into the BIOS, or I got into the Windows operating system, it has a 530 graphics on it. I thought it had the 550 graphics, but it don't. But I was still going to do the benchmarks on it and whatnot. Then I want to upgrade it. I'm going to show you how to put a SSD into it, and the 6400 into it. I'd go with the 6500 because they're the same price now, but because the one I got, it's got to be a low profile card. And the 6500 ain't a low profile card. So yeah, that's going to be some of the videos that's going to be coming up. Also, I was looking in the specs of that system. It does have dual channel RAM in it, but it also has only 8 gigs of RAM in it. Now, I guess it does have Intel 530 graphics on it. I thought it had the 550 or the 570 graphics or something, but it does have the 530 graphics in it. So it does have what it's supposed to have. It does have dual channel RAM in it. It's got 2 4-gig sticks, which gives it 8 gigs of RAM. I'm hoping to be able to upgrade that with a 6400 with a SSD. The RAM configuration, I'm not too sure on what I want to do with it. It is in dual channel at least. But it is only 8 gigs of RAM, which I think it'd do better if I put a 16 gig kit in it. I don't know, maybe that'll be a separate video. Is it worth putting 16 gigs of RAM into a system that old? Because that came out in what, 2015, so it's 7 years old now. But, you know, I mean, I put the 6400 in it and find out that 8 gigs of RAM ain't going to be quite enough to handle it. Maybe I'll do a video on upgrading the RAM, see how good that does for it. When I get my paycheck in, I plan on ordering a 6400 for that rig. Of course, I might have to go with one of these low profile. So probably the power collar, maybe the XFX speedster. I know there's some stuff going on about XFX right now, but I don't listen too much to that stuff. Then we have Sapphire's got a low profile. There's Gigabyte got a low profile. $169. Yeah, I guess that ain't too bad of a price for one of them, I guess. There's another power collar. Now, the thing about, actually, once I got that system done up, I was thinking about selling it. You figure I got 150 in the system. What is it? It's got a 512 gig SSD in it. And that's what, another $20 or so, something like that. Let's see here. It's 512 gigabyte SSD. I know it's a silicon power. What's them things running? Nah, I ain't even find it there. It's silicon power. Yeah, right there's the one that's in it. So you're looking at $38 for the SSD, $170 for the graphics card, $150 to buy the system. I ain't too sure on what I'm going to do with the RAM. I want to put a video out to see if it's worth upgrading them from 8 gigs of RAM to 16 gigs. Well, you got some RAM laying around here to do that one with. But I know I've grown, the channel's grown quite a bit. It's up to, what, over 2,000 subscribers now, 2,095 subscribers here. But I still haven't gave nothing away for the 1,000 subscriber giveaway yet. Which, if I do decide to do that, I'm thinking about giving that computer away for the 1,000 subscribers. I'll probably go through a Gleam link or something like that, but it will be to the continental U.S. only. Just the shipping on something like that, I don't think it would be worth it to ship overseas. But I've been waiting to do the giveaway for the 1,000 subscribers until I got something worth giving away. You know, that's what, gonna be a $450 system or something like that. I think that'd be a pretty good gift to give to somebody. I don't know, I'll put a video out if I decide to do that about it being the giveaway. Which I know it took me a while to be able to give anything away, but I wanted to make it something worthwhile too. I'm going to try to pick somebody that could really use it. You know, I don't want somebody to take it and just tear it apart and sell the parts out of it, or, you know, maybe come up with some way to be able to verify that they actually need it, and it's just, they ain't just going to rip it apart and sell the parts out of it, or something like that. I don't know. It's kind of what I'm thinking. What do you guys think about that in chat? Do you guys think that'd be a good idea? You guys think I'm losing my mind on that one? Maybe I ought to call it the 2,000 subscriber giveaway instead of the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. I don't know. I think it'd be I know a lot of people, when you run a budget channel like this, you know, a lot of people could use a system like that, and it'd be a nice upgrade for them compared to what they have. I got to do a little bit of research on how to make it fair and how to go about making sure the people that put in for it actually need it. I don't know. Just kind of a way to give back to the community. I think MT and Chris, I think you guys are probably better off with the computer you got than what that is, I think. By what I know of your systems. MT Maxter, he's from overseas, so he kind of knocks him out. Just the shipping on it and the import tax and all that. Just, it wouldn't be worth shipping it overseas to anybody. But it's kind of what's going through my mind. I was going to sell it, but I think I'd rather see somebody in the community take it. Don't know how to verify that they're actually part of the community or whatnot. Because a lot of people that do subscribe to the community don't have their subscribers listed or showing. So, you know, I got a lot of subscribers that don't even show up that they're subscribed because they got them hidden. But YouTube's supposed to be doing away with that. But I don't know. It's kind of what I'm thinking. Thinking about giving that away for to somebody in the community. I think it'd be a pretty nice little gift for somebody out there. Somebody should be able to make decent use of it. I just got to figure out a way to make it, kind of make it fair. Well, if somebody's going to get it, can actually use it. I know a lot of the bigger creators use Gleam for stuff like that. I don't know, maybe if they do win it, you know, maybe get them on a video call or something, maybe, just to verify that they could really use it. I'd rather give it to, you know, maybe someone in school that could really use it, or maybe a vet from the military or something. I don't know. I'm rambling on now, guys, but kind of what I'm thinking about doing with that system once they get the 6400 put into it. Kind of using it as a giveaway prize. 3700X 2070 Super. I'm set for you. Wow, someday I will get my hands on a 2080 Ti. Those things are expensive. Yeah, they are pretty expensive yet. That 2080 Ti, they're still very powerful cards. They're still in high demand for them. So you're running the same graphics card I'm running. That's what I'm running, this 2070 Super. That'd be a downgrade for you, MT. But you know, it's just kind of something I'm thinking around, kicking around in my head to do. You know, I know I could sell it locally for probably $500 or so, but I'd rather give back to the community. I don't know. Like I said, I gotta look into how to give it away and all that happy stuff. But it's kind of what I'm thinking. And then try to make sure whoever gets it can actually use it instead of just ripping the parts out of it and or turning around selling it for a profit for themselves. Which, if they need the money bad enough, I guess that'd be all right too. I guess as long as they get some kind of use out of it that helps them out of the situation they may be in. Uh, by looking at my analytics here, it's about half of what I've made on YouTube so far since I've been monetized. So it'd be a pretty good little gift, I think. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Hopefully, hopefully I can get it built here pretty soon. Like I said, next week will be that 4K porch list. I'm hoping to get the video up on benchmarking it as it sets. I was going to get that up this week, but downloading the games, I put the SSD in it. I reinstalled Windows on that SSD, downloading all the games, getting it all set up to be able to run the benchmarks. Took me longer than the time I have available. So hopefully by not this week coming up, but the next week, that'll be available. That'll be the video coming up. And by then I should be able to get the 6400 in, show upgrading it and what the performance difference is. See if it's actually worth it or not. I like to keep it for a while longer, do some more testing. Like we talked last week. I like to see how big of a video card I can actually put in it before that 6500 CPU actually is the bottleneck. I think it could hold up to a pretty good GPU. I could be wrong on that. And I think it was one of you, MT or Chris, one of you mentioned last week about the 5600X would be a good pairing for it. So I was just thinking about that and wasn't really too interested in doing that, but I could always pull the motherboard out just to run them tests, which is an option too. I haven't tore into the air cooler yet on it, so I don't know if it's the kind that's embedded into the back plate of the motherboard or not. But I'm sure I could rig up some kind of air cooler on it, at least good enough to get the temperature test ringing on it. But I like to do some experimenting with it and get as many videos as I can out of it before I actually give it away or sell it. I'm still liking the idea of the giveaway, but like I said, it will be to the U.S. only. I won't be able to send it overseas or nothing. I don't know. But that 6400 should be pretty good little gaming experience for 1080p, especially for a lot of the games that a lot of people play. I don't think anybody's looking at the 6400 XT or the 6400 graphics card to play AAA titles with. You know, it'd be more of a esports game, I guess. Esports gaming kind of computer for what it's got in it. Maybe do a test, see if it's worth upgrading to 16 gigs of RAM. Maybe I'll do that upgrade to it too before I give it away. You know, it kind of surprised me it even had dual channel in it. So yeah, then some of the videos will be coming up on the channel here. I want to do the upgrade to it with the 6400 and the SSD. I'll pull the SSD back out and show it in the video. It definitely needs some cleaning done to it. It's in pretty rough shape. I may have to pull out me a couple pairs of pliers and straighten up some of the tabs and whatnot on the case that's pretty bent up. Which, I don't know, maybe I'll do a video on how to straighten the metal up. Then maybe do another video on about 8 gigs in dual channel up to 16 gigs dual channel. See if it's worth the upgrade or not. See if the CPU is strong enough to handle something like that. But we'll see. We'll see what kind of videos I can get out of it. And what I end up doing with it. I would like to give it away. So that's definitely a good possibility. What is that? The 5040? I know it's a refurb. No real thing, guys. I'm trying to figure it out here. Oh, damn it, eBay, quit it. Purchase history. Dell. They even got the listing still up on it. They don't have the listing up on it yet. But there it is. That's actually where I ordered it. Yes, I've had it for quite some time. It's the Dell Optiplex 5040 MT. It's got the i5 6500, 8 gigs of RAM, which is dual channel. Kind of surprised me. Paid $150 for it. But, you know, I like to get some videos out of it, but yeah, we'll get my money back out of it. Definitely going to do the benchmarking on the iGPU, which we figured out is the 530 graphics on it. I need to go into the BIOS and see how much RAM that thing actually uses for the VRAM on it. But that's kind of what I can show you guys. That's what the system is. That's what will be coming up on the channel here in the next little bit or so. You guys been around the channel, I like to try to get as much many videos as possible out of what I buy. So yeah, it'll probably be a Dell Optiplex 540 channel for a while until I get all my testing done and see what that thing can actually handle. That being i5 6000 series CPU, I think it can handle a pretty good GPU. I may have to buy a couple extra GPUs to see what it'll actually handle. I'm thinking that thing may even handle a 2060. It's only 4 core and 4 thread, but being the 6th gen. I think it'll be all right. I think it could do a 2060. It is similar in spec to this mini PC. The HP Elite 800 G2 mini core. 6500T, 2.5 gigahertz, 8 gigs, 250 gig SSD. Yeah, it does sound pretty familiar. That sounds just like that one. This one did actually come with Windows 10 Pro on it. Kind of surprised me about that. It's in New Egg, Canada. Oops. What the hell did I do? Must have hit a button. Probably cheaper in the US. Well, it looks like it's going for $2.99. Ships from Canada. The G2 Mini. Let's see what we can come up with. Amazon got them for $152. And the $300 if I get shipped from Canada. 8 gigs is DDR4, Windows 10 Professional. Yeah, it's 152 here in the US. Does that one say it ships from Canada? And don't say it ships from Canada. It's in stock. I couldn't see fitting a GPU inside that one though. Kind of curious to see what them integrated graphics 530 could actually do here in 2022. I'm figuring 720p, maybe medium settings, high settings. But then again, since I'm going to upgrade to 6400 RTX 6400, I may run at 1080p. That way I got a fair comparison to it. And I know the 6400 can run a 1080p display. But yeah, that sounds pretty well like the same thing. Up to 3.1 gigahertz. I don't even think mine. I don't even think that one that's in this one goes up 3.1, does it? Yeah, it goes up 3.6. Because that being a T model, it's same thing they use in the laptop. Pretty cute little computer. But yeah, that'd be some of the stuff that'll be coming up. So you got a $40, what we got here? Let's see here. Calculator. Pull up the calculator. Paid $150 for that. Whoops, wrong button. There we go, $150. We're going to add the SSD of $38. What was the GPU? 170, I think. Core components, video cards, desktop, 6000 series, 6400s. $170 for the graphics card. Add 170. That'd be a $350 gaming system. That is if I don't do the RAM upgrade to 16 gigs from 8 gigs, depending on what it can handle. What's 16 gigs of RAM going for now? Two 8 gig sticks. And we'll do this by lowest, which I don't think I have the cheapest kit in stock. Yeah, I could do something like it. Put another $36 worth of RAM in it. Add another $37. If it does any improvement, be about $400 gaming computer with the latest gen GPU, 16 gigs of RAM. I don't know. I'll see how I end up building it out. But I do believe I do want to give it away to the community. Unfortunately, it will be US only, so. But that's kind of my plans with it. I've been really contemplating this to see what would be the best way to do this. I don't know. I've never did anything like this before, so yeah. But anyways, I'll figure it out. See what I actually end up putting into it, then giving it away to a community member that could really use it. Hopefully it ain't someone that's going to take all the ports out of it. But that's the chance you take, I guess, when you give stuff away. But I've been going for a little over an hour today, guys. I think I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to call it a stream. I gotta go out and get my weed whacking done and my grass cut. Hopefully, I can get all that done today, this afternoon. I got this week's video already finished up, so I don't have to worry about that too much. I do have to create the thumbnail, but other than that's done. And then I got some other stuff around here I'd like to get into if I get the time today, if it ain't too hot outside today. But I think that's gonna wrap it up for today, guys. Make sure to check out the links in the description below. Maybe some links down that may interest you. Don't forget to all have fun YouTube stuff on your way out of here. You all have a good day, and I'll see you in the next video or live stream.